Okay, guys. I'm audible? Yeah. Yes, Murli looks good. Yeah. But only problem is you have started your uh, JSON as an array. It is good for programming, not for configuration language. So in our case, we will never see a JSON which starts with square bracket. We will always see a JSON which always starts from object. Yesterday, do you remember I've said about couple of things. One is using with capabilities. We are not worried about capabilities. Okay. So the only stuff which would have made it better is started your JSON with curly brace. Okay. And then have a key called as tickets or user info, whatever that makes sense to you. Okay. So that's the only stuff. Apart from that, the structure looks good. Okay. And there is no need for var and all of that stuff. That is a programming convention. We need not worry about it. Right. Yeah. Okay. Fine then. So let us proceed with our JSON. Okay. So we know, do we understand? Are we able to read JSONs now? I give you any ad hoc JSON. Will you be able to make out what are keys and what are values? What is simple, complex, and list? Right. That's it. JSON doesn't have anything more than that. Simple type, complex type, and list. Right. List could be as simple as a list of strings or list of complex objects. It could be anything. All right. Okay. Let us go ahead and go back to our motive, which is, let me use OneNote so that we'll have continuity. Uh, okay. So our question was create an Amazon image with Nginx. For this, the topics which we were looking out for was access, how to tell to build in Amazon. Now, how to tell to build in Amazon, right? Execute commands for installation. నిన్న రాసుకున్న వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ రాసుకుంటున్నారా? నిన్నదే ఇది, right? This is the same thing. I just rephrased them because I don't remember what I write. Okay, fine. So these are the three things, and for this we have identified that we have to write something called as packer template, right? And for writing packer template, we need to know how the JSON looks like. Now, since we understand JSON, let us look at the JSON which packer understands. We basically understand what a JSON is, but packer has a specific syntax for how to write about it, right? And those syntax consists of three important items. One is builders, two is provisioners, the third one is post process. Right. Okay. Now I want to use packer, and let us see how the packer does it. Right. So we have logged in manually, I think on the day one. I have created the Amazon machine, and in that machine I have executed the commands. But now I'm using Packer. So will Packer log in on your behalf? Will it click on Chrome browser and then open the website and then do all the stuff whatever we have done? No. Packer does it differently. So how Packer achieves Amazon AMI creation? Okay. So manual steps. Okay. The only difference is machine creation I have done from website. Machine creation I have done from website. If I want to follow the way how Packer does it, it is completely CLI. It will not use website in any case. Right? Did you understood the difference? Last time also we have done this. But last time when I have done this, I have gone into the Amazon's website and there I have created the EC2 machine. Now if Packer has to do it, Packer cannot get into the website. Packer website ke liye click til jailid. Packer cannot click on websites. It needs some command line interface. So the manual steps are, we need to have or install AWS CLI, command line interface. Okay. And after installing AWS CLI, we will be executing AWS CLI command for EC2 machine creation. Okay. And then the third step is login into AWS, login into AWS EC2 instance and execute am I audible, guys? And execute. These were the commands which you are looking. Execute sudo apt-get update. All right. And apt-get install nginx -y. The 1 and 2 steps on the day 1, I have not said this because that is day 1. But actually Packer follows this approach. So for the Packer to create Amazon's machine image, you should have AWS CLI installed on your machine. You should have AWS CLI installed on your machine because Packer uses this. And then it uses a command. It uses a command. Okay. So this is what Packer does. All right. Now to the AWS CLI, okay, I will install AWS CLI. While installing AWS CLI, I'll do this. How do I install AWS CLI? You will just say AWS CLI installation. You can use whatever operating system it is. I'm showing the Windows approach. All right. You go over here. Okay, or you can execute Choco install AWS CLI also. Even that works. All right. You will download this installer. Are you using MSI installer? You will download this and then you will double click and then you will execute. All right. Anywhere you will not tell who you are. Mana installation and installing process, we will never tell who you are. All right. But from the AWS CLI, whenever you want to execute commands, do we need to tell who we are? Yes. So that is a problem area now. So you can install this software. Good. You can execute Choco install AWS CLI. It will be installed. Right. Similarly, if it is the Linux, you can just click on the Linux environment over there. He will tell you how to do it. Even in that case, you will be installing Python and then you will be executing something called as pip install AWS CLI. That's the Linux way of doing it. Even in that case, I am not telling username and password. So whenever I am executing commands from AWS CLI, how will Amazon know who is the user that is executing it? Yes. So we need to tell AWS CLI in some way who we are. Yes or no? Yes. And that way is creating a user in Amazon. You achieve that by creating a user in Amazon. And whenever you create a user in Amazon, you get two important things. One is secret key, the other one is access key. So these two things tell to the Amazon who you are. So as a part of this step, you also need to create, okay, create an user with actually suitable permissions. Okay. In my case, I'll be giving administrator. I'll be giving administrator permissions, right? So the second step is very important. Installing AWS CLI is not a very big thing. Just go to that site, AWS installer, AWS CLI installation on Windows, Linux, Mac. You click, you will get the help. You have to download the software. That's it. Now the second step, I want to create a user. Shall we do this? Right? So to create a user in Amazon, log in into it first. We need to tell this user key, secret key and access key to our Packer. All right. The service which helps for us to create users is IAM. I think we are discussing the same topic in the cloud classes right now. Yeah. So services, search for something called as IAM, or you will see IAM somewhere in security. Click over here. Now your motive is to create a user who has administrative permissions. So let me go to the users, create a user. Let me call this user as Packer itself. Okay. Then you are seeing two checkboxes. Do you want programmatic access or do you want AWS management console access? Programmatic access is for CLI and SDKs, and basically the management console access is for the website. What is that we are looking out for? CLI access, which is programmatic access. So I'll be selecting only programmatic access. In reality, in many of the companies, you'll be getting only programmatic access. You will not get the management access. You have to work out on Amazon from CLI itself. UI is initial in the initial phases to understand what is happening. Right. Next, what is the permissions? Go to this third step. Attach policies, existing policies. The first step, what we will be seeing is administrator access. Select this. Scroll down. Next, create user. Okay. One thing to remember, the access key and secret key, please don't commit it to a public site. So you write a Packer template, and whenever you are basically updating it to the GitHub, remove that access key and secret key if you have written in the file. Because if someone gets to know what a secret key and access key is, he can easily get into your account and he can create machines. And this has happened with Quality Thought once during Packer and Terraform classes itself. And the bill which we got was 7 lakhs or 3 lakhs, sorry. Okay. Somehow we had to basically prove that we are not guilty for that. The only mistake which we have done is just by mistake we have submitted our key, but that's a long process. So access key and secret key, please keep it secret. Okay. So what I do is I'd basically I'll download this CSV. Okay. So our file is credentials2.csv. Remember this stuff. Okay. I'll close this. Okay. I'll tell you how to protect this. Every day, whenever you want, you have finished working with Packer. Are you seeing security credentials? Okay. Scroll down. Either delete or make inactive once you have finished your use. Once you make it as inactive or you delete, if the user tries with the same access key and secret key, Amazon will not allow you. Okay. This is secured in companies because whenever you ask for an access saying that I want an AWS CLI access, your administrator will be giving this access for a period of time. After a period of time, he will inactivate. Okay. So my suggestion is delete it. Okay. And next day, just click on create access key and you will be getting a new access key and new secret key. That's it. That's what we need to tell. Right. Access key and secret key are much like username and password. So please keep it secure. Okay. the hacker just, or the person who wants to use your account just needs these two things if he knows CLI. If he doesn't know CLI, that's a different story. He needs to know your email and password. But if he knows CLI, he doesn't need all of that. He just needs a secret key and an access key. That's it. All right, good. Yeah, okay. So I have a secret key and access key now. Okay, now let me jump back to Packer. Okay, I'm going to the site, not to my slides, because this list is ever growing. From last time when I covered to the Packer till this point, there are many things that have been changed. When I change not the CLI stuff, the strength of Packer has changed. Okay, it supports various different things now. Okay, so what are the three important things in Packer? Builders, provisionals, and post processors. What is the purpose of the builder? It will tell what is the environment where you want to work on. All right, so shall I get into this builder section first? So what is the environment which I am interested in? Okay, now instance. When you go into any cloud or any stuff, any builder section over here, for every stuff which you are seeing, it will tell you what is the purpose of it. It will tell you what is the purpose of this. So I would recommend you reading all of this. I would recommend you guys reading all of this, right? Because this list can give you many other things also, many different things also, right? Okay. So now let us just slightly have a root at EBS. Amazon EBS package builder is able to create Amazon AMIs backed by EBS volumes for EC2. What we want is an AMI, right? There are different kinds: surrogate, volume, instance. Okay, what does this do? It says backed by instance storage as a root volume. That terminology is Amazon specific. So the only difference between the two options which I have selected is there are two different hard disk types in Amazon. When you select EBS, okay, the volume or the image will be stored on the Amazon EBS. If you select this, it will be stored in the instance storage volume. Now you choose whatever you want. That's what Amazon tells. So for you to choose the right option, you should have some basic knowledge of the cloud. But let us do what is most widely used. So I'll go ahead and I'll select something called as EBS. Right? So the first builder which I want to use is EBS. Let us see how to deal with this. Scroll down. Not this. Yeah. He will give you a basic example. Okay, he will give you a very basic example. See what are the different things which he has given there. The type is Amazon EBS. In the builder section, you will be writing my type is Amazon EBS. Access key and secret key. Do we have it? Yes. And you will tell what is the region which you want. And for you to work on something, you need already an existing machine. For every machine, you will be choosing an image. Remember, while we were creating our machine, we have selected Ubuntu. So you will be telling what is your machine. And to create the image, what is the machine type which you are going to give, right? And then what are the usernames, and basically what are the other details of your stuff. That's it. Simple, right? Now let me go to the AWS. Now you tell me, how do I create Ubuntu machine over here? I'll click on launch instance, right? And what region I'm in? Oregon. So just also do this AWS region, because from CLI you don't use names, you use codes. So open this. Okay, this will not contain the consist of the full list. If you want full list, go to Amazon site. So what is our stuff? Oregon. And what is the region code? So for me, I'll be using this. If you want some other region, also find the code, equivalent code, right? So good. Now I want to select the Ubuntu 16. Come down. Yes. Are you seeing anything over here? This is the machine Ubuntu's ID, Ubuntu's image ID. We need this. We need this. So what you are trying to tell is, you are trying to tell that I need an Ubuntu machine which has the following ID from the region which is Oregon. But you will not tell these things directly. You will not write Ubuntu, you will not write Oregon, but you will be using codes. That's the whole point. So let me go ahead. Okay. Into G drive, square zone. Let me use Packer zone. New folder. Okay. And let me, yeah, I have not basically discussed about this, right? We will be using an editor. I can write JSON files in Notepad also, but I'll be using Visual Studio Code. I'll be using Visual Studio Code. You can Google for Visual Studio Code, or the easiest way is Choco Visual Studio Code. And Visual Studio Code works on Linux and Mac also. So if you want to install it on your Mac, Visual Studio on Mac, they will tell you the installation steps. Visual Studio on Ubuntu or on Red Hat Linux. Okay. Remember, you can't use it on AWS machines because AWS machines do not have a desktop applications. They are servers which do not have a UI. So Visual Studio might not, you have to use it from your desktop machines. If you have a desktop which is a Ubuntu 14 desktop or Ubuntu 16 desktop, you can install Visual Studio Code there, right? So for me to install Visual Studio Code, there are two different ways. Visual Studio Code. Remember this name, Visual Studio undownload chesara. If you remove code, the size of the download is 7 GB, because Visual Studio is an editor which is used for developing .NET applications, Android applications. It is a huge stuff. We are not using that. We are using a very simple text editor from Microsoft, which is Visual Studio Code. Remember that name. For a part, Visual Studio and 7 GB download. Yeah, we can use that also. But do you want to download 7 GB of content? Right? So better go for this. Visual Studio Code. Yeah, you have multiple versions. Other platforms, click on this. You have for every platform. Right? So since I am on Windows, I'll be downloading this. And then I'll be double clicking it. Okay. So for the people who don't like visual installation like me, you can also do this. Choco Visual Studio Code. If Chocolate is already installed on your machine. All right. So I'll click on something. So Choco install Visual Studio Code. If you want a specific version, you would be using ---- version. Otherwise, you will be installing Choco install Visual Studio Code. You basically install in whatever way that makes sense to you. I want Visual Studio Code on your machine, right? Once you have Visual Studio Code, the only thing is go to the folder and click on open with code. That's it. This gives us an editor which is very much easy to work with. Okay. So now our context is not this. Okay. Let me go ahead in May and create a new folder called as Nginx, because our main aim is to create an Nginx image. All right. And now create a new file over here, which I would be calling it as nginx.json or build nginx.json, whatever that makes sense to you. JSON file starts with what? Yeah. And in the Packer, the section which we are supposed to write, it will consist of builders. Right? Just to cross check spelling, you can open any existing stuff. Okay. Is the builder spelling right? Yeah. Come back to here. Okay. Now, builders is an array or a list. So how do we write list? Square bracket. And in this, I want to tell about a builder which is Amazon EBS. I want to tell about a builder which is Amazon EBS. So we have seen in this documentation, right? These are the values. But what are the supported values? You have a huge list over here. That is an example. But you can use all of these are keys for you. Whatever you are seeing in this section, everything is a key. So for example, access key, AMI, instance type, these are the required fields. But you have optional fields also. You have optional fields also, right? Right. So now let us get into all of this. I want to set these things now. So let me come down to the basic example and blindly copy and paste. And I'll be changing some values based out of my needs, whatever values which I have. Okay. Fine. Amazon EBS access key. I think I have my access key in credentials2.json, right? Which is in download stuff. Let me click over. So I'll be opening this file. Let me open with Notepad++. That makes more sense. Yeah. This is my access key. So I've copied my access key over here. And then go to this file. You'll be seeing a secret key. Good. So I've set my secret key over here. My region code is US West 2. I think we have also looked into that. Right? And then image ID. I have to change this, right? Okay. So what was the image ID? Whatever you see over here. So this. Okay. And the image name is Packer-Nginx. I want to give Packer-Nginx, and whatever time this image was built, I want to just put the time over there. That is a timestamp. Okay, because if you build this image twice, if you don't want two images, just remove the timestamp. It will always create the same image name. If you put the timestamp, it will be Packer-Nginx. Let us assume that you have built on 7 o'clock in the morning. It will tell 2018. Okay, May 30, 7 o'clock. It will represent the timestamp completely with seconds, so that whenever you do it twice, you get two different images. If you don't want that, remove this timestamp. All right. So I'm removing this because I don't want two images. I want one image for the first stuff. So this is the basic stuff which I have copied. Now let us see whether this is good. Will it work or will it not work? So for writing JSON file, I don't need any installation. But basically, to make it work with Packer, do I need to tell it? Yes. I need to install Packer on my machine? Yes. Okay. So let us see how do I install Packer on this machine. Okay. The same site which you are referring, or you can do this Packer download Packer from HashiCorp. You will get this. Now you choose whatever is your operating system. Okay, download and double click. But I don't like this approach. So what would I do? Choco Packer. Okay, so I'd go over here, and the command is Choco install Packer. All right. So let me open PowerShell. Run it as an administrator. Choco install Packer, and I don't want to give yes or no in between, so I am giving -5. It will take time because it has to download and then it has to install. Okay, so installing softwares is the most easiest thing of your life, but don't spend time on that too much. అన్నిటికన్నా ఈజీగా అయిపోయింది ఇన్స్టలేషన్. ఓకే, డిఫికల్ట్ థింగ్ ఇస్ టు కాన్ఫిగర్ దట్. Let me install Packer. We will see Packer commands and then I'll take a look at questions, solve them, and then use the CLI. Okay, if you are, since we use this on Windows, all right, whenever you are using Packer on Windows, whenever you install something, please close the terminal and relaunch it, because Windows doesn't have a feature of automatic environmental variable reload. Okay, they have given some command, but it is not effective, still not as good as what Linux is. In Linux, if you install basically any software, there is no need for you to log out or log in, restart, nothing, because environment variables are reloaded. Okay, in Windows that doesn't happen. So the way to solve that is, whatever terminal which you have installed, close the terminal, relaunch the PowerShell or command prompt. Even if it is a command prompt, same story. All right, now try this command, packer hyphen hyphen. Yes, if you try this immediately after in the same terminal, it might say command is not found, because it doesn't know where the packer is. Okay, for it to know, the environment variables have to be reloaded, because this name is set in the variable of environment which is called as path. Okay, and the value of path was changed during we were working, which is not automatically reloaded. That's a problem in Windows. If you are working on Mac, you will be using the other way of installing Packer. In that case, you don't need to do this. Packer will be immediately available. Mac or Linux, variables are automatically reloaded, right? So now let me go to our folder. Where is our folders? A folder is somewhere over here. So fine, let me use the command packer hyphen hyphen. Packer has the following commands: build, fix, inspect, push, validate, and version. Okay, validate will check that whether the template is valid or not. So shall we execute that first? Packer validate, and if I'm not wrong, I've written something called as cd may, and in that nginx. So packer validate, it says it is good. Okay, now I want to use inspect and I don't know how to use it. First thing is, you blindly use this packer inspect. It says you are using this, you have not defined any variables, you are using a builder called as Amazon EBS, and you don't have any provisioners, right? So now you can go ahead and click on packer build. So first is, we will just validate to see whether whatever JSON which I have written is template is valid or not. And the next thing is, we'll be doing with inspect. Inspect will tell us what we are trying to do. Okay, here we have just written builder, right? Did we write any provisioner? No. So the next stuff is, there are no variables and there are no provisioners. Okay, for nginx we need provisioners, there is no doubt about it, but let us look into other aspects of it. So now I want to build this, so packer build, but before building this, I'll be executing. So these are the various options: packer build, color equals to false, debug, and then there are on error, what has to be done, is it in, I mean, you want anything in the machine readable format, and all the other stuffs. Okay, which we'll be looking at the later point of time. But now what I would be doing is packer, let me clear the screen. Okay, it's okay. Packer build, I'll use minus debug. All right, and then what is our file? nginx.json. Let us see what happens. Every step it will ask you to press enter to continue. That's what a debug is here. Okay, it will just try to execute every logical step, and when it wants to continue you have to press enter. If you don't put debug, it will not ask, it will just work. Okay, so whenever you are executing Packer for first few times, please execute it with .-debug, because you will come to know the different steps. See, what is the first step? Pre-validating AMI name. It is first checking, is there any image already with the name called as whatever is written over here. If the name is already present, it might fail, right? And next it says pausing after the run of the step, because you have said debug, it has paused it. Now whenever you are okay, click on enter. So it says, yeah, whatever image ID which you have given for me, I have found it. I have found it. If it doesn't found, it will fail. For example, you have given an AMI ID in this Amazon EBS which is not present, then it would fail. So it is also good. Next, it is creating key value pair, temporary key value pair, right? So it is asking you pausing after run of step. It has created the key value pair so that it has to log in into the EC2 machine. Good. Okay, and then it says create temporary security group. What is a security group? Which allows, which is like a firewall. So if you see, it has given 22 port open from zero, any machine for that matter. Click. Okay, it is cleaning up volumes. Okay, now it has started its work. Okay, and now it has launched the command for creating the EC2 machine. Let us see whether machine is being started, created, or is there something that is happening. Services, EC2. We will do this again, don't worry about it. We'll do this twice or thrice so that we'll come to know about it. Are you seeing any machine which consists of something like Packer or some tag? Yes. It says I'm using a machine which is Packer Builder. It uses this machine and it creates an image using this machine. Now, that's it. We have not said anything. So it has just created the machine. And did we write any provisioner? No. So it will create the image of whatever the machine that has been launched. That's it. Okay, so it looks very simple, right? It looks simple because we have filled the values. If your values were errors, it would have stopped in between. So since you know the manual steps, it looks easy. That's the case with any DevOps activity. So for the people whom you are finding it difficult, please try to create an image manually. Okay, while you are trying to create an image manually, you will select first a machine. Okay, in the UI you select the machine on the website by name, but Packer has to go by ID, AMI ID. Whenever you are creating a website, you will go by the region's name, but for Packer you have to give region ID, region code. So here those are the different things, but the basic steps are exactly the same. Now done. What is it doing? Creating an image called as, yeah, it doesn't contain Nginx because we have not written provisioner, but is it creating an image? Yes. And manam file purtiga ledu. We have not written our file completely, but Packer is doing its job, because in the JSON file whatever you have given to the Packer, you have not written the provisioner. The moment you write the provisioner, Packer will work on it. That's how simple it is. All right. So now for us to make this instance really consists of Amazon, really to come to have Nginx, what is that we need to do? We need to do provisioning. That's it. We need to do provisioning. So we have looked at the builder section, and to be more specific, we have looked at the Amazon builder section. And in Amazon builder section, we have discussed about two builders. One is EBS builder, the other one is instance builder. These days, no one is using instance builder. Instance builder was a very old way of Amazon. Okay. Now, whenever you are asked to create an Amazon image, you will be using EBS itself. That's why I'm using the same thing. Okay, instance is for the older or EC2 classic machines. Now no one uses it, right? And basically the steps looks very simple. What is it we have written? We have written a simple JSON file. We have passed the necessary arguments, and then we have executed first, validate, next inspect, after that build. And while we were building, I have used -debug option because it is for the first time. Okay, you, whenever you are trying this sample, try to use debug until you are good at what is happening, because it stops at every step. Right, right. So these are the various steps which your packer is doing. Okay, once the image has created, it will remove whatever it has created. It has created a EC2 machine, so it will kill it. It has created a temporary security group, it will remove it. It has created the temporary key value pair, it will remove it. So it will remove whatever it has generated except image. So for creating an image, there are many things which packer does. So once the packer execution is completed, the only thing which you will look at is image, and rest of the things will be cleaned by packer itself. You don't need to worry about the cleanup of it. All right. So if you see deleting the security group, deleting the temporary key value pair, whatever it has created, it has deleted. Now if you see, it says that Amazon EBS AMIs are created, and the AMI which packer has created, that is the ID of the AMI. Right, now let us see if there is an AMI with this name. Go to images, AMIs. Are you seeing any AMI with the name whatever we have given here? Yes. Yeah, it might not contain Nginx. I know that because we have not written provisioner. But if I write provisioner, this image will consist of, yeah, good, yeah. So till this step, let me look at questions, and then I will add provisioner. Okay, while adding the provisioner, I'll delete this image because I don't want this, right? Yeah, let me look at the questions over the web. Oh, there are many. Yeah, Jason, good. I think I'm okay with this. Yeah, you have used array of complex objects. Fine. And then difference between EBS and EC2. Both are images whenever you look at over here, but EBS and EC2 are something else. EBS is a hard disk and EC2 is a virtual machine, if you look at Amazon's terminology. But in this, basically, in our laptop, hard disk will be in our laptop. Do you agree to that? Yes. EBS is a different kind of a hard disk which will not be present in your laptop, but it will be present at some other location. That's what an EBS is. The difference between EBS and instant storage is like your laptop or my laptop. We have hard disk in our laptop itself. But EBS is a different kind of a hard disk which will not be on your machine, but it will still act as a hard disk. It will be present on some other server. Okay. The advantage is, even if your machine, something happens to your machine, your hard disk is still stable, still secure. That's the EBS. Right. Okay. What about instance type and username? Instance type T2 Micro is free, and whenever you have created the Ubuntu machine, what was the username? What was the default username? When you create any EC2 machine, you will have a default username, and the default username for Ubuntu machines is Ubuntu. For Red Hat machines is EC2 user. So that's why I'm using the same thing. Right. Giving our access key to the secret key doesn't cause any problem. If you give to the script, it will not cause any problem, but if you give to your friends, it might. Because if you see the script will run only when you ask it to run. Right. Now, if your question is writing the script and access key and secret key directly in the file, is it a good practice? Definitely not. But remember, this is our first packer file. Okay, access key secret key direct ga JSON file lo రాయటం correct కాదు, but this is our first file. Right, slowly we will improvise on that. Right, can we keep them encrypted? There is no need for you to do all of that stuff. Packer has taken care of that. Okay, if something is failing, how can we see or See, every packer, whenever it goes wrong, if you while creating, when it was pass itself, we have seen those many logs. So whenever it is fail, you can basically find out the reason, or in that log itself you will be able to find out. Or what you can do is you can increase the logging level. You can increase the logging level to verbose. Then you will get each and every command, each and every step which packer is executing. All right. Okay. Even with CLI, we don't know the steps in the background. That what AWS CS executes. But in Packer, we came to know detailed steps. Good. What is the difference between Packer and Terraform? Terraform. What is it? I have forgot. I have told about this 2 days ago, but unfortunately, due to my bad memory, I forgot it. What is it? Packer is used to create images, and Terraform is used to create actual machines, working machines. That's the difference, right? Yeah. Can we compile and run in Visual Basic Editor itself? Not, it's not Visual Basic, Visual Studio Code, right? Visual Basic was a very old approach. It is older than me. Visual Basic, Visual Studio Code. Can we do in there? Yeah, there are provisions where we can use the stuff in there itself. Because in Visual Studio itself, you can launch PowerShell. So whatever commands which you are executing on the PowerShell, we can execute in Visual Studio Code itself, right? But I am not showing it on the screen because it is very much small. Okay. Slowly we'll go to that point. All right. When a packer creates the instance in the process of image creation, will it be chargeable for machine? Obviously. How will Amazon know whether you are creating from packer or not? For Amazon, the billing part is whether you have created the machine or not. If you have created the machine, the billing starts, right? So that's why we have chosen T2 micro, not the huge machines. The whole reason of choosing basically T2 micro is because it is anyway free for 750 hours. That's the only reason why we have done that. Is it possible to create an image using existing image? Obviously you can. So now what is this image ID over here which I got, right? Yeah. Now I want to create an image using this image. So let me go back to my JSON. In the JSON, is there anything called as source AMI? There I have given Ubuntu image. In the case of Ubuntu, I'll be giving now whatever AMI ID which you want to use, right? So it is possible. You have to give the AMI ID. That's it. It doesn't know whether it is Ubuntu or it doesn't know whether it is Red Hat. The only thing it knows is it will create a machine with that AMI ID and it will try to log in with the username which you have given over here. As long as those two work, you can give any image ID. All right? Okay. Okay. Can we think of Terraform as a provision? Let us think of Terraform when it comes. Let us just think about Packer now. Okay. Terraform inka undaga. That is second part, right? So let us think just about Packer. I'll discuss when I start Terraform what are the actual differences. Okay. Fine. How can I create more than one image at a time? Can you tell me the use case? Why do you require more than one image at a time? One simple use case. Pardon me? Version changes building one at a time. మూడు వర్షన్లకి కలిపి ఒకేసారి బిల్డ్ చేయం కదా. Yes, building multiple images at one time. That's what his question is. You will not do that. So CD కూడా ఒక CD తర్వాత ఇంకో CD నే బర్న్ చేస్తాం, right? So basic, the whole point over here is you by using Packers you don't build multiple images parallelly. That is not the use case of Packer. Packer is used to build an image for your application, and whenever you are building for an image for your application, you will do it once, right? If you want some other thing, let us assume that I have built the virtual machine image, and for that I want Docker. So for that scenarios, we have something called as post processors. Okay, but you will not be doing two different things. You will not be writing one Packer file to create an Nginx image as well as Apache image. No, we'll write two different Packer files. Yeah, output formats might be different. So you might tell that I want a Docker image also going down the line, right? But that is also not a good practice, not followed in enterprise. We do one thing at a time and we do it correctly. Good. Okay. Now we have builders. Builder is doing its job. Now what is the other thing which has to get in now? Provisioners. So provisioners. See, for the people who know Ansible, you have Ansible provisioner over here. For installing Nginx, you can use your playbook. For the people who know Chef, you can execute your cookbook. All right. The only thing which you have to do is you have to open over here and find out how do I use this. Okay. So for the people who don't know Ansible, don't worry about what I'm trying to tell over here. Okay. So you have to use some of these settings. But let us use the manual approach. I want to use shell provisioner. Right. And I'll go with the basic example first. Simple. Yeah. So now in this file, what is it I'd be writing? Please cross check the spelling with this. Or why do cross check? Fine. And provisioner is also a list. So I'm writing a list over here. Okay. And in this list is list of complex objects. Done. Okay. And now how does the complex type structure looks like? We have something over here. Let me copy this blindly first. All right. What are our commands? Sudo apt-get update. I don't want this. And I want sudo apt-get install Nginx. Okay. Probably if I want to work with services, I could also give sudo. Okay. Service Nginx restart or start or whatever it is. In the case of Ubuntu, you don't need to do that because the services are automatically started for most of the cases. Let us assume that you are using it in Red Hat. Your apt-get will become yum. Okay. So if you want to enable the service, probably you can do that by using systemctl also, because we are using Ubuntu 16. So what does that go in this inline script is all your Linux knowledge. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఏమైతే రాస్తున్నామో మీకు లినక్స్ బాగా వస్తే ఈజీగా రాయొచ్చు. లినక్స్ రాకపోతే నేర్చుకుని రాస్తారు. If you don't know Linux, you will learn and write it. Okay. As on today, some of you people, whatever you are seeing in that might be like Greek and Latin. Don't worry. Okay. We are supposed to learn all of that. But I think I have been telling about sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get install Nginx from the day one itself. So I'm executing those two commands itself. So let me remove this third one also. So I'm doing the same thing and done. Simple. So this is our provisioner. Now we have builder and we have provisioner. Simple, right? So builder will create the EC2 machine, and on that created EC2 machine, provisioner will do whatever commands which we asked to execute. Right? Now if you go into this provisioner, I have just used something called as inline. Inline is you are writing shell script in this file. Otherwise you can use something called as path and give the path of your shell script. Anything is fine. Okay. So since the commands are small, I am using this approach just by copying and pasting so that you guys also can do it. Okay. So for doing whatever I am doing in this class, you don't require too much of Linux knowledge also. Right? Yes. So now one thing which I want to do is, I don't want this image anymore because this is really not Nginx. Whatever we are going to build now will become an Nginx image. So let me go ahead, action, click on deregister. Delete and deregister are exactly the same. Okay. You are deregistering your image. Done. Now shall we go ahead? Okay. What were the commands? First thing is just do this packer --. There is no need for you to remember any command. Just see what are the different things over here. What is that I have to do first? I have to validate. So packer validate nginx.json. Good. If there are any JSON errors, it will tell you here. Next is packer inspect nginx.json. It says now you have these two things. You have a builder and then you have provisioners, right? So variables, I have not gone there yet. We'll be going to that at the later point of time, but let us be good at this point first, right? Now, what is the next thing? Packer build -debug. I'll not be using -debug. You do it, right? nginx.json, right? So if you want any other command line arguments, you can always go with the command and also say -help. It will tell you what are the different things it should get. Yeah. So if you see, whenever some error happens, it will remove everything, clean up. So if you want to abort the task, you can just say -on error equal to abort. I don't want to do that. Default behavior is very good. So whenever it fails, it cleans whatever it has created, and we want that. Okay. So packer build nginx.json. Let us see what happens. It will create the machine. It will wait for the SSH service to come. Once the SSH service is available, it will log in into that machine. Once it logs in into the machine, it will execute whatever we have written in our provisioner. In our provisioner, what is that we have written? Sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get install nginx. Did we give -y? It will fail. Okay. Let it be. We'll come to know what is the reason for that. Yeah. Good, I have not that given that, so that we'll come to know across one failure. Yeah. -y is accept yes. Okay. Any automation tool will not allow you to enter any input once it has started its job. So whenever you execute sudo apt-get install nginx on your machine, it does some work and then it will ask you, do you want to continue, yes or no, or something like that. This cannot be handled by such tools. They would stop their work there. All right. Yeah. So we are seeing packer builder. It is still initializing. Let us see what happens. It takes time, guys, just because it does all of the automation. It does a lot of, it eliminates a lot of manual work. All right. It takes time. So it is provisioning with the shell script. It is connected to SSH. Sudo apt-get update y. Sudo apt-get update. Update is happening. Fail, man. I know it is going to fail. Okay. While it waits for failure, let us see what is happening. Yeah, it is needed. My bad. Yes, Sanjay, you are right. Yeah, we need to write -y. You were proactive. It was my bad. If we create the instance with the existing image name, okay, then it will not allow because that's Amazon's behavior. If Amazon allows it, Packer will not have any problem. Amazon doesn't allow it. All right. Okay. You cannot create two images with the same name. All right. No, that depends on the cloud provider which you are using it. For example, Azure overwrites and Amazon doesn't overwrite. So it works in Azure and it fails in Amazon because Packer is not a decision maker there. Right. So let me come back to this. So if you see what is happening, it asks, do you want to continue, yes or no? Which means there the user has to enter the input yes or no. And Packer has come to know that it is waiting for the user input. Then what it has done? It is aborting the project. It is cleaning up everything. Whenever you enter any shell script which expects user input from the user, it will not work. The automation will fail. That's what it is trying to tell. So the fix for this is just use sudo apt-get install nginx minus. That's it. So now whenever you execute this, what happens is whenever the prompt comes, we have told this upfront itself. My answer for whatever question which you are going to ask is yes. Yeah. Now try to do the same thing. Done. So after some time, we will be seeing an image called as Packer-Nginx, which consists of the Nginx installation. Later on, you can use that image to create virtual machines. All right. The difference that goes in your Office's installations is, okay, I have written only two simple commands: apt-get install nginx and update and nginx. Provisioner will become complicated, not the builder. Builder, whatever you try for learning or whatever you try in your environment, in your enterprise environment, doesn't change. The only thing that changes is provisioner. Okay. In this class, I will be using only shell provisioner or file provisioner if I want to create files. Okay. But for the people who know Chef, who know Ansible, you already have playbooks and you already have cookbooks. Run them. Ansible Chef ఎంతమందికి వచ్చు క్లాస్ లో రానోళ్ళు వరి అవ్వద్దు. We'll be learning that. No one knows Ansible or Chef. Okay. So I'll mark these pages. మిగతా వాళ్ళు Ansible క్వశ్చన్లు అడిగినప్పుడు మాట్లాడతాను ఈసారి. Okay. For the people who have raised hands, for the people who do not have raised hands, that means that you don't know Ansible, right? So don't ask Ansible questions to me. Let us complete our class again and then we'll look into it. All right. మీరు నా దగ్గరే వచ్చు అని చెప్పుకోవడానికి సిగ్గుపడతారు, ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వెళ్ళి ఏం మాడతారండి? ఓకే ఫైన్. So for the people who know Ansible, the only thing which you have to do is you have to use Ansible provisioner and then you have to tell what is the playbook which you need to run. All right, what is the playbook which you need to run? That's it. You have to make your playbook available in the same folder or in some subfolder in that path, and then you can use Ansible provisioning, Chef provisioning. You can use all sorts of that. Okay, but for Packer it is too much. People don't use Ansible until unless they are really looking out for it. But in Terraform they use a lot. In Terraform, Ansible and Chef utilization is more compared to what it is in Packer. సో గతం మర్చిపోయిన వాళ్ళు కనీసం ఎప్పుడున్నా చదవటం మొదలు పెట్టండి. సో దట్ ఇంకో 2-3 రోజుల్లో మళ్ళీ Ansible Chef నేర్చుకున్న వాళ్ళు దాని మీద ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ ఉన్నాయి. రైట్, ఫర్ ద పీపుల్ హూ నో Ansible and Chef. రైట్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటింగ్ apt-get update and then it will execute apt-get install nginx. Once everything is done, it will create an image and we get an image with nginx. So from now on, whenever I want nginx, there is no need for me to execute those two commands or select a machine, nothing. I will select my image. All right. So why is this important? This is important for two different reasons. One is everyone need not do the same job again and again. Whoever wants nginx, just take this image. That's the best part. And now I have shown you AWS Marketplace, right? In there we were seeing a lot of images like SharePoint, SAP and all of that. So these companies are getting revenue only by creating images with the softwares installed. If you are part of a such company, your work is only Packer. If you are part of such company, your work is only on Packer. So you'll be writing Packer to create a SharePoint image or some image of your something like let it be VPC server, VPN server, whatever it is, whatever your company is selling. Because whenever you put an application in AWS Marketplace, there will be two kinds of costs. One is software cost, the other one is hardware cost. Okay, so your companies will be getting revenues out of it. So you will be making images in different clouds. SharePoint image on AWS and SharePoint image on Azure and SharePoint image on Google Cloud with some of your company's existing configurations. That's how people sell. Okay, fine. It is installing Nginx if you see the logs, right? Yeah. Okay. So any questions in the classroom? Can we edit profiles like Etsy profile to harden? You can do whatever you want using shell. Okay, you cannot do after the image has been built. While the image has been built, if you want to do anything, and if for hardening the machine, if you can write a script, I'll not say hardening, I'll say anything which you want to do on a Linux machine, if you have a script, you can do with Packer and create an image with that. So for example, I want var temp and some folder to be there before in that machine. So create a folder from shell script, use makedir. Similarly, that is a very simple operation. For any complex operation also, you will have some Linux commands, right? Execute that in the provisioner, done. That's what you do. Any step on Linux machine. I want to install antivirus, write shell script for that, right? Okay. Now, let us go to this provisioners again. In the case of Windows, let us assume that we have created the Windows machine. Then the only difference is you will be using a type called as Windows shell, and then you will be executing Windows commands. So let it be Windows, let it be Linux, you can achieve the same thing. Okay. For example, in Windows, you should know on the command line how do I install this software. If you don't know, you can't do it. As simple as that, right? Okay. Can we install WebLogic image with Packer? Do you know how to install WebLogic from shell script? If your answer is yes, you can do it. If the answer is no, it is possible, but you can't do it. WebLogic can be installed from shell script, by the way. Just try to get the hold of that shell script. That's it. If you don't know shell script, try to find out an Ansible role or a chef supermarket cookbook. You can achieve the same thing from there. The whole point is the possibility depends on do you have an automated way of doing that activity. Let it be from shell script, let it be from configuration management tools. If your answer is yes, yeah, you can create an image with that. If your answer is no, you can't do it. As simple as that. Okay, fine. Are we good? Looking good? Is there a difference between from the point where we started to the point where we are right now? Is there any difference? Right now, I'll take your question. Yeah. So you go to the EC2, go to the AMIs. Are you seeing Packer Nginx? Let me select this actions. I'll click on launch. Okay. Next. Okay. In the security group, I'm opening all ports. 80 is enough for this, by the way, because Nginx runs on 80 port. Launch, and I think I have identity. Yeah. Let us wait for this machine to be in the running state and all the status checks being passed. Status checks also should be passed. Okay. To log in into the machine, you don't need status checks, but we want to access the Nginx application, right? So that's why I'm waiting for them to happen. Let us try in the meantime. At the max, it will say the page is not found or something like that. http:// It will not be up till all that stuff passes, and after that you can directly use that link. Okay. Did we enable it, by the way? Okay, so yeah, there is one more Linux mistake which I could have done. Okay, let us just look into this. Shall I log in into this machine? Yes. Downloads, git bash. Okay, there is one problem with Amazon. Whenever you create images, right, it will not know what is the default username. It will always give as root. Okay, if you execute with this root, it will try to tell you what is error. Please log in as Ubuntu user rather than root, or please log in as EC2 user rather than root. So since we know that our default username is Ubuntu, I am entering this. If you don't know, just click on enter. It will tell you what is the default username. Okay, now sudo service nginx active and running. Good. Yeah. So it takes time. All the status checks have to be passed, and after that, there is no need for you to log in into the machine also. Just it would be enabled. Right? So any application which you want, if you create a Packer image, it would be this simple. You will be directly getting applications rather than you don't need to go to the machine every time, do the installation, nothing. Okay. Let us assume your company is building a e-commerce site. You will create an AMI image or a Amazon image with e-commerce site in it. So whenever your testers want to create that image, they will be just using that image to create a machine. Done. Right? So that's how simple it is. So, but Packer, remember, will Packer give a machine or an image? Remember that. Always remember that Packer is used only for images, not for machines. Yes, you had a question. Hmm. 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 So you have used a builder for Hyper-V. We'll discuss it offline. Okay. So Hyper-V is not Hyper-V has a problem with network. The network is basically whenever you try to use Hyper-V from Vagrant and Hyper-V from any other tool, Microsoft has not done good job with respect to networking. It is not open networking SDK. So just see it would have been stopped at that point. Pardon me? కరెక్టే నా అదంతా బానే ఉంది కానీ బయట ఎస్డికే నుండి నెట్వర్కింగ్ కనెక్ట్ అవ్వదు అది దాంట్లో ప్రాబ్లం ఓకే దట్స్ ద ఓన్లీ ప్రాబ్లం విచ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ సో మై సస్పిషన్ ఈజ్ ఓవర్ దట్ పాయింట్ షో మీ యువర్ ఎర్రర్ లాగ్ మెసేజ్ ఐ కాంట్ టెల్ బై అంటే ఇఫ్ the only way where I can know what is going wrong is with logs. Just by description, if it is a very popular error, I can tell you what is going wrong. Otherwise, if it is very much specific, I want logs. Otherwise, I'll not be able to tell the generic solution for it. Otherwise, I'll become like RMP doctor. For everything, the same solution. Restart your machine. All right. Okay. So why are we using AWS? Why cannot we use Vagrant in real-time application? Which one are we using? Why Vagrant? Why not Vagrant? Vagrant will never be used in production because Vagrant is only for which environments? Dev environments, not even test. Okay, if you want to simulate the production or some stuff on your machine, you use Vagrant. That's what we started Vagrant for. Vagrant is just to use for simulation. Okay, it is not given to your customers. So that's why Vagrant is not very popular in the Packer world. But whatever boxes which you are seeing in the cases of Vagrant, which we have discussed, like Ubuntu, Trusty 64, all of that, they are created from Packer. That's it. That's the only relation which Vagrant and Packer have. Yeah. How the Packer knows under which account this image has to be created? Oh, you're asking the same question which I've asked. So we have provided the secret key and access key. By looking at that secret key and access key, Packer came to know that it should do in my account. Okay. If I give a different secret key and access key, it would do the same stuff. Yes. Okay then. So since I've done my job, I don't want this stuff to be basically gone. So what I would do is I'd go to the Packer, I'd go to the IAM. Okay, I'll just call it as make inactive. Tomorrow, whenever I'm using the same file again, I'll make it activate and then I'll run it, I'll make it inactive. So that I am stopping someone by using that security key and access key getting into my server, getting into my services, because the bill might increase unnecessary. So best way is delete it, create a new secret key and access key. Okay, but as of now our file is not good for that. Tomorrow what we would do is we will try to parameterize our file. We will not try to hard code our file. We will try to give in the packer while we are running, we will not enter secret key and access key in this file, but we will enter secret key and access key as arguments. I will be saying that packer build nginx.json, okay, secret key is this, access key is this, while running the command. Because now if I give this file to you, it will not be useful, because every time you have to go in here, go to the access key, go to the secret key and change your stuff. So what are the different things which can change in your case? Secret key and access key will definitely be different. Your secret key and my access key will not be the same. Region, I am saying that I want it on Oregon itself, but you might want it in a different region. So nenu ee file meeku iste meeku pani chestunda, you have to change a lot of things. Okay, so I want to write a generic packer file. I want to give a generic packer file in such a way that anyone should be able to run it. So for that, what I would do is, what are the different things which I have to change? Packer access key, secret key, region, instance type. Okay, at least those things. And now if you want to basically what we can do is, if you that's it, or AMI name. If you want to give a different AMI name, I am giving packer nginx, you want to give something else. So whatever you want to change, okay, we should be giving provisioning in this file to change it, so that anyone can use this file to build an nginx image. Anyone can use this file to build an nginx image on any AWS account. Now the problem with this file is, this file works only with my account. That too only when I activate the user, which I have done. If I want to change, I have to go in this file and change access key and secret key every time. And the other problem with this file is, this file always creates an image in Oregon region. In Oregon region. What if I want it in Mumbai? So what are the different things that have to be changed? So this problem leads us to a discussion of a topic called as variables. That is where we'll start tomorrow's class. Okay, but is this understood? But this file, the problem with this file is, this is very much specific. It works only in my account, in my region. I don't want to write packer files like that. I want to write a packer file and I want to give it to you, so that whenever you want nginx image, you will be using that JSON file and you will be executing packer build on your laptop. Still, in that case, my packer should be reusable. So if I want to make it reusable, I have to remove some specifics. What are the specific stuff about my account over here? Secret key, access key, region, and source AMI. So if I just remove all those 4 things from this account, okay, then I can make it generic. That's what my tomorrow's job is. I have written a very specific packer file now. Tomorrow I'll be writing a very generic packer file, so that you can take it and work on it. Okay, so that's the whole point. That is what a variable concept is, right? Okay then. So I think we have exceeded on time. Let me see if I can answer the questions quickly. In AWS, without using trial machine, it's idle. We can log in. Will they calculate time? I didn't got your question, but AWS is more intelligent than us. I can tell you that. Okay. So I got the essence of your question completely, but I'm trying to tell that you can't cheat Amazon, right? So whenever you without, there is nothing called as trial, and if you are not out of trial, whenever you create an account, your bill will be charged. They have a very decent APIs around it. Fine. Through Packer, can we build Ubuntu or Linux in VMware? How can I tell whether it is possible or not possible? Tell me that. Just the answer. What is that I have to check for? The question is, through Packer, can I build something on VMware? What is that we have done in the class now? Through Packer, we have done something on AWS. So if I have to check it for VMware, where is that I need to check for? Builders. So go to the Packer, all right? Builder section. Are you seeing anything called as VMware over here? Yes. So is it possible? That's it. That's the answer. If you ask possibilities, that's how I'd answer for it. So the basic concept is, it should have a builder. If it doesn't have a builder, it is not possible. Since it has a builder called as VMware, it should be possible. That's it. Yeah. Thanks for your time, guys.